Here's the problem: growing our money and protecting our earnings without the risk of losing any of it. Because we now know that 10 years of stock market gains can be completely wiped out in only 10 weeks of stock market losses, like it was in 2008. And even before that, during the 10-year period from 1999 through 2008, when the annualized return for the S&P 500 stock index was a minus 1.47%, because in 4 of those 10 years, the S&P index lost value. Minus 9.11% in 2000, minus 11.98% in 2001, minus 22.27% in 2002, and minus 37.22% in 2008, which meant that $1 invested in the market on the first day of 1999 would be worth less than 86 cents on the last day of 2008, a loss of almost 15% over that 10-year period. However, had you avoided those losses and your money simply earned nothing during those 4 years, your annualized return would have been better than 7%, and your money would have doubled over that same 10-year period. Of course, it's not just the money we lose, but the time we lose as well. For example, if the stock market loses 40% of its value, as it did between 2008 and 2009, we would need to earn more than 10% for each of the next 5 years, net of any fees, commissions, taxes, or expenses, just to recover our losses and get even again. And that means we lose 6 years of compounded returns on our savings, which is why avoiding market volatility can make such a big difference in the growth of our money. So, how can we grow and protect our savings without any market volatility and without the risk of losing any of our money? With a contractual guarantee to credit our money with an interest rate based only on the growth of a stock market index, like the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, or the Dow Jones Industrials, but without any stock market losses, and without current taxation on any of your earnings. That's why, according to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, more than $200 billion have already been deposited into these contracts by millions of people who have not lost even $1 of their savings as a result of any market volatility. That's because these contracts do not actually invest in any securities of any kind. They only use a market index to determine the interest rate they credit to your money. So, when the index increases or gains value over a period of time specified in the contract, an interest rate as a percentage of those gains is credited to your savings. But when the index decreases or loses value, 0 interest is credited to your money, and those losses are never deducted, which means that your earnings are preserved and you never lose any of your money within the contract. However, there is a maximum limit on how much of the index gains can be credited to your money and a minimum number of years before your earnings can be withdrawn. So you don't get all of the index gains, but you don't get any of the index losses. But you could lose some of your money if you withdraw more than 10% of your savings in any 1 year. What's more, the IRS will charge a 10% tax penalty on any tax-deferred interest earnings you withdraw before age 60. So, what are these contracts? They're called equity index annuities, and they are contractually guaranteed by legal reserve insurance companies that are required to maintain capital reserves equal to all of their contractual guarantees. So, ask yourself this: does it make sense to risk the loss of your savings and earnings by keeping your money in stocks, bonds, or mutual funds? Or by paying taxes on your earnings, if those earnings can still be lost after you've paid the taxes? Or does it make better sense to keep your money in an equity index annuity that contractually guarantees to grow and protect both your savings and your earnings without equity market risk or annual taxation